Welcome to this week's edition of The Big Q. Today, gracing our studios is the U.S. Ambassador to Rwanda, Miss Erika Bax-Ragozi. Welcome to the studios.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
These are some of the questions that the audience has set to you. We start with Vitero Patrick, who says, what is the contribution of U.S. on the development of Rwanda?
We have a very strong partnership that spans the last 2 decades, which we're very proud of. We are the largest single development partner with Rwanda. This last year alone, we contributed $180 million, that's 262 billion Rwandan francs, to projects from education to health to economic development and entrepreneurship to agricultural development. So we're very proud of our partnership with Rwanda.
Okay, and Richard Chirenga, can the partnership of USA and Rwanda turn to be more industrialization to improve the economy, like more investments in the manufacturing and processing sector?
Yes, there are efforts to go from more of the kind of basic development to the next level. So for instance, we are working on a project that with our NGO partners in a public-private partnership that will bring better roads to agricultural areas so that people can bring products that are value-added products to market. We also are working in the dairy sector with Land O'Lakes, one of our very large dairy companies, to bring value-added production, so it's not just milk that's being produced, but things like yogurt, high-end cheese, other products that can bring value-added industrial production to agricultural areas, which will then build that industrial base. So we're very pleased with our next step in programming.
Paul Ruhamya, any updates on the renewing of the AGOA trade agreement, and what should Rwanda expect from the renewal?
Well, we're very pleased that the AGOA was renewed only 3 weeks ago now. And I was just speaking with the Minister for Trade and Industry last night at our Independence Day celebration, and we have actually done a study through our regional economic program, which is based out of Nairobi, to look at how Rwanda can take better advantage of AGOA for not just agricultural products, but industrial products and value-added products. And it's a 50-page study that I just got yesterday, and I'm reading through, and we're setting up a meeting to talk about that because we'd like Rwanda to be able to take better advantage of the benefits of AGOA.
Moses Turatsinzi, what is your position on the detention of Lieutenant General Karenzi Karachi in the UK?
Well, this is really an issue between the UK government and Rwanda, so I don't think it would be very prudent or beneficial of me to get into the middle of that.
Okay, I hope, Moses, you've been answered somehow, somewhere. Joseph M. Kamanzi, when Rwanda decided to suspend the BBC indefinitely following the infamous documentary, the U.S. Embassy condemned the move. Isn't the embassy's stand on the documentary a sign of Western double standards?
I don't think so, because we have a very strong policy and a very consistent policy that genocide denial, wherever it occurs in the world, needs to be condemned. And we have condemned that here in Rwanda, as well as under the Srebrenica genocide, as well as Holocaust genocide denial. And we feel that that is not inconsistent with our position that media needs to have free, fair, and open dialogue, because the way to combat genocide denial and other hateful speech is not less speech, but more speech, with people going out and saying this is wrong and putting their opinions out there. And a free and fair media can help with that, we believe.
Wibabara Chantal, majority of Rwandans are asking for a constitutional amendment. If at all the request is granted, the West will come out against Rwanda for violating or not abiding by a democratic system. Who should define democracy for Africans? Is it the West or Africans themselves?
Well, we believe that every country should have the opportunity to have free, fair, credible elections to advance democracy, and should have strong democratic institutions that are respected by people and by parties. And our Secretary of State has been very consistent globally, saying that we think that that is consistent with respecting term limits that are in constitutions, and we believe that should be held all over the world, not just in Africa.
Jean de Dieu, if America forcefully occupies other states without any justification, for example, Iraq, it's normal. But when another country is expected to try the same, it's an offense, for example, Russia and Ukraine. Isn't that superiority and selfishness?
Well, I disagree with the premise of the question. When Russia helped the rebels, and they are continuing to help the rebels in Ukraine. They did so surreptitiously. They have denied it, but there's massive evidence that they are helping. That's very different from an international coalition with UN Security Council resolutions behind it, which was the case in Iraq. And Russia has none of that behind it. And what they have done is inconsistent with the UN Charter and with their own policies. And we believe that they should return to their own borders.
Now, just to end on a lighter note, Jean-Paul, we have seen a series of victories for USA in different competitions. You won the FIFA Women World Cup, and yesterday Serena Williams beat Marina Sharapova. What does it mean to you?
Well, I have to say I'm very proud of our U.S. women athletes. I think they give a good role model of healthy living and the strength that women can bring to any endeavor, including the World Cup. We're very proud of our first ever three-time World Cup winners on the women's side, and we wish Serena Williams good luck in the finals of Wimbledon this weekend, because she has been a true champion since she was a teenager, and seeing her continuing to have success is something that I'm very proud of.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
And thank you also. And thank you very much also for those questions.